Hey guys, if you haven't seen the previous episodes of the anime, Am I Actually the Strongest? Please don't skip any part of the video, but if you have seen last 4 episodes, then skip to 1 minute and continue the story, so let's continue. So previously, Haruto was reborn as the first prince of the kingdom, but his mother and father, the king and queen, saw that Haruto was only at level 2, so they threw him away. But after that Haruto made a demon wolf his servant and got adopted by a nobleman named Gold. Haruto got a pretty nice and caring family, but then his adoptive family was being targeted by someone. So after digging into this case, Haruto discovered his biological mother. The queen wants to kill Gold and his family because Gold's daughter, Charlotte, has the power to surpass the queen. And if that happens, Charlotte could become the next queen in the future, but Haruto doesn't care about throne and decides to face his biological mother in order to save his adoptive family. Then as the story continues, Queen Giselette was pissed off that her 3 attempts to kill Charlotte got wasted. So her minions told her that a mysterious guy named Black Knight always protects Charlotte, so Giselette becomes interested in Black Knight because he's crossing her path. So Giselette wants to end his life the same way she had killed Demon Lord with her holy demon slayer, so Haruto got there to give her that chance, seeing him. Giselette gets into action and used a water spell to drown him. But Haruto gets out of that bubble instantly, so she used an inferno on him. There, Haruto gets on his knee for a moment. And Giselette thought that his game was over, but this time Haruto attacked her and Giselette barely blocked him. After that Haruto gives her a multiple shots of his magic. And her mana was getting exhausted just to block Haruto's attack, so seeing no opening Giselette resorted to sword fight, but to her surprise Haruto was a pro in swordsplay as well. But then Giselette took a high dive to push down Haruto. She gets overconfident that no one can beat her, but Haruto brings her back to reality, and Giselette was utterly defeated. So Haruto puts a slave collar on her to keep her in check, and if she tries to remove it then her head will pop out, so Haruto tells her that only he could remove that collar, and for that, she must stay away from Gold and his family. After speaking his mind Haruto leaves, and Giselette got a mental breakdown. But seeing her humiliated like that Flay was rather satisfied that her ego was crushed. After that day, 5 years passed peacefully and Haruto is now 15 years old, and during this time, Giselette hasn't made any move towards his family, and it was winter time and Haruto wanted to stay cooped up in his room. But there he noticed that Flay was still in her regular clothes even in this cold, so she tells Haruto that this was the first clothes he liked on her, so she doesn't want to wear anything else. She was shaking from cold so Haruto made a new pair of outfit for her. Then Charlotte got an idea to make a new magic attack only made out of snow, but she's not capable of that, but Haruto could pull it off, so she asked Haruto to show her that attack. And he can't say no to her little sis, so Haruto then used that cheesy pickup line from anime to use that snow attack to make her sis happy. But Gold and Natalia got there and saw the dent on the ground, so Haruto made a clone of himself to keep his identity hidden. Then Haruto asked Gold about Queen's activities. And Gold tells him it's been 5 years and Giselette hasn't appeared in public because she had a slave collar on. At first everyone thought it was a fashion sense. But now everyone thinks someone might have put that collar on her. Haruto was happy his plan worked at last, and he was all set to live his ideal shut in life. But Gold holds him back because he had planned for him to attend school in the royal capital. School was a code word of depression for Haruto, because he wanted to live a shut-in life. Then Gold gave him details that Haruto was recommended by King Jilk himself, so he can't refuse, because Princess Marianne had taken a liking to Haruto while she was here for a tour. So Jilk is fulfilling her daughter's wish, but Gold had his concerns as well. For example, if Queen has started to use her kids for her dirty work. And Haruto remembers Gold had done so much for him, so he couldn't say no, so Gold told him to take an attendant with him at the academy, so Haruto once thought of Flay. But she would only bring trouble, so his mother Natalia volunteers to be her attendant, but Haruto and Gold gave a hard pass to her right away. Then Haruto talks the details with his clone and hopes he would go to school instead, because he couldn't use magic like him, so Haruto wants his clone to attend the school and get kicked out. And if real Haruto goes he would end up fighting with delinquent. Clone understands that Haruto is fine if his clone gets beaten up, so he refused. Then Haruto tells him has other clones to replace him, so that clone tells him to have a guilty conscience. Haruto tells him he was joking because Charlotte won't let him replace his first clone. So Mr. Clone began to throw a tantrum to avoid going there, but then Haruto gets serious and tells him he will cast a barrier on him so he won't get injured. It was the end of the deal. So Clone had to agree in the end. Then Haruto had built a safe house away from castle near the lake in this 5 years for his shut-in life. But Charlotte knows everything. She has become an otaku of the Magic Girl anime. But even while she's otaku, Charlotte had less time on her hand because of her studies, and can't even get to this safe house without Flay. So Haruto offers his help to make a teleportation gate for her. Haruto showed how the teleport works, but he hasn't tested it on a living thing. So Flay gave him the idea to make his clone as a test subject. So Haruto tells to his clone just cross over that portal, but he gets what Hartuo was up to. So he tells Haruto that he's scared himself to cross his own portal. Flay gets annoyed with that copy, so she crossed herself and threw that idiot over to this side. Charlotte got concerned for him. And Clone thought there was goddess in front of him. After that Haruto made a door of teleportation for easy transport, but he still need to find an attendant. And with that, episode 5 comes to an end, but please let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this anime, and in the meantime, subscribe and like the channel if you want to see more new or old anime recaps.